Greetings, goddesses. It's Nicole here, aka Chi Goddess. Today I'm going to make a quick video that talks about some frequently asked questions around the Yoni Egg practice. Recently in the news, there's been kind of like some controversy around the Jade Egg practice. So, what I'd like to do is just talk about what the Jade Egg practice is and what it is not. Let's start there. Okay, so the Jade Egg practice is part of a whole healing system in the Universal Healing Dow. It's taught to us by Master Montauk Chia. And there's a series of practices that we're doing before we even start to work with the egg. So there's a lot of cleansing work. There's a lot of healing work. There's a lot of being in tune with your emotions. And there's a lot of releasing and letting go of toxic emotions that we may be holding on to. So we start with the clearing work first before we even get into the egg practice, which is a little more advanced. And the system for women is really designed for you to come back into the right relationship with your body. A lot of women are drawn to these practices because they've had some sort of disconnect. They're either cut off from their sexual energy, maybe they've experienced some sort of trauma, sexual trauma, maybe they have been desensitized for various reasons and they're wanting to gain that sensitivity. Maybe they just want to have a better relationship with their womb and with their yoni. So women all come into this practice for very different reasons. And what it is, this is an internal practice, right? So it's an energetic practice. And though we are using a physical egg, a lot of the work we're doing is energetic and learning how to breathe and learning how to release through the egg the things that we've been carrying and the things we've been holding on to that are not serving us. So your Jade Egg practice is more than just doing Kegels and clamping down and contracting. So many people think that it's all about, the strengthening of the pelvis, which is a big part of it, but it's not the only part of it. And as we contract, we also want to release and to relax. So learning how to relax the yoni muscles in the pelvis is just as important as the strengthening and the toning and the tightening. So you have to have the yin and the yang. It cannot be too much of one thing because that can lead to imbalances, and too much contraction is never good in the body. That's one of the things I just wanted to point out first and foremost, that this practice is so much more than just wearing the egg and walking around all day. It's really a tool to help you to become more in tune with your body, to feel more at home in your body, to really be able to take control over your body and the way you feel, and to be able to own your sensitivity, own your pleasure, own your sexuality, and to know that that is sacred. We have, as women, for various reasons over the last thousands of years, really kind of been disconnected from our sensual and sexual power as a whole. Now, this is totally shifting right now as this feminine energy is really rising on the planet. And so there is a demand, there is almost a calling for us to come back into resonance with these practices. I made a video on the benefits of working with the Jade Egg, so you can refer back to that video. I'm not going to really go into that right now. I just want you to know that by inserting this crystal into your yoni, magic just doesn't occur, right? It's not just going to make everything in your life super better and make all your problems and all the emotional trauma or physical trauma disappear. So if that's your expectation, let me go ahead and, just clear that up for you. So, but what the egg is, like I said, is a tool. It's a tool for you to go deeper into yourself. It's a tool for you to get in tune and in harmony with what's really going on beneath the surface, for you to take a look within yourself, to really feel your womb, to really feel and connect with your yoni, because these aspects of ourselves are always having a conversation. The thing is, we haven't been taught how to tune in and how to listen. And in fact, we've almost been socialized not to pay attention and not to listen to our yoni or what our womb is telling us. So this kind of gives you more power. It allows you to take responsibility for yourself, for your sexual energy, for your sexual power, for your emotional well-being. It allows you to really love yourself at your core. One of the things I love about the approach that we use with the Universal Healing Dow is that we are working also with the organs in tandem with a Yoni Egg practice. So the Tao has understood that we store emotions in our physical organs, and our sexual energy is governed by our kidneys. So as we start to change the energy of our organs, as we start to shift through the healing sounds, through the inner smile, through working with the microcosmic orbit, we are shifting the way energy moves in our body. Really, the purpose of the practice is for you to become more in tune with yourself, with your heart, with your womb, with your yoni, to establish this connection and to really be present and to be aware in your body. And that in itself is so powerful. So learning to speak up if something doesn't feel right, learning to communicate with your partner what works for you and what's not working for you, learning to ask for what you want and for what you need. All of these things can occur from having a regular practice. And for myself personally, when I really started working with the egg, I just felt this energy start to open up in my heart. I knew that I had been shut down in my heart space for quite some time, and I was able to disconnect, my yoni from my heart, and I could actually have sex with a man without opening up here. And really, that's not natural for a woman. We're supposed to ideally open at the heart, and when the heart opens, the yoni opens. And for me, this aspect of me was shut down because I didn't want to be hurt. I didn't want to be disappointed. I had been through a lot of disappointment in my relationships, in my life, and so I learned how to shut this off. And my heart just really started to open up with doing the whole system, working with the sounds. The inner smile is a very powerful meditation that really works to soften and to open the heart. And, I became more orgasmic very quickly with doing these exercises, learning how to breathe into my yoni, doing the ovarian breathing, and really being able to circulate energy through those channels. And I myself had a lot of healing that needed to be done when I came into this practice. I didn't know that that's why I was coming into the practice. I actually came because of the sexual gratification, not knowing that I was going to get so much more from this system. So it was interesting, that I was one of those people that came in looking to better my sex life and discovered the healing along my journey, and now I'm able to share and teach these practices. It really helped me to heal my sexual trauma, to heal, my imbalances in my menstrual cycle, painful periods, fibroids, heavy bleeding. All of those can be lightened. All of those can be restructured. All of that can be restructured. You can literally change your whole physiology with doing these practices. I've heard of women healing their cancers, healing their PCOS, shrinking their fibroids, women who were not able to conceive, being able to conceive after doing this internal work. So again, we don't give credit to the crystal per se. It's really you moving through your stuff and using the jade egg as a tool to assist you in that process. So a few other questions that I get is the egg painful to wear? And my advice is no, right? Everyone is different. I highly recommend starting with a medium egg unless you have just had a baby. You may want to start with a larger egg so that you can work with that. And as you tighten, you can move down to the medium egg. But generally, you don't even feel the egg once it's inserted. It's sitting in the vaginal canal. And although you have, muscles and nerves and things in there, you are not, highly contracting. Like when people think about wearing the egg, they think that you're just walking around in this contracted state all the time, and that is not the case. So I would say you barely will probably even feel the egg once you've inserted it. If you do have pain, a lot of times that's something emotional that needs to be cleared. And once you work through that emotionally, the pain will usually subside. Can you wear the egg during sex? Yes, you can wear the egg during sex. And in fact, that can be quite pleasurable for you. The egg is not going to go too far up there. It cannot go past your cervix, so you're never going to lose the egg. It will always come out in its own time. And as you start to develop your muscle strength, you will be able to lay your egg on purpose by just, bearing down and pushing as if you were giving birth. But in the meantime, using an egg with a string attached will help to clear any fear you have around the egg getting stuck, because you can just pull it out whenever you're ready. Another question that I get is, can you wear the egg during your menstrual cycle or on your period? And I don't advise that. Use your intuition. Usually, your cycle is a time for releasing and for cleansing, and you want to just allow your womb to kind of relax. I would just give your womb that space to cleanse itself without having any obstructions. Now you can, check with your doctor or, use your intuition when working with your cycle. Working with the egg on your cycle, I will say if you are using the egg, it's probably going to cause you to bleed more or to bleed more heavily because of the energetic qualities of the egg. And I hope that answers your question. Another question that I often get is, how do I clean my egg? So we definitely want to practice good egg hygiene. So I do recommend, the very first time you get your egg, to clear it from everyone who's ever put their hands on it physically and energetically to boil your egg. And you don't have to boil it for a long period of time, just for a couple of minutes will do the trick. And you can also add maybe a drop of tea tree oil to the water if you'd like. Other than that, just cleaning your egg after each use with running hot water on it is sufficient. You can also add a little bit of the Dr. Bronner's castile soap. I like to use tea tree because of its cleansing, antibacterial, antifungal properties. And you can also put your egg in, say, a bowl or a glass and pour hot water over it as a way to sanitize your egg. Or there's a lot of conflicting views on whether or not you should boil your egg. And I will say it is safe, especially for Jade, because it is formed under such a high temperature, like 1,000 degrees or more, that boiling it is not really going to affect it. Now, if you have a fake Jade egg, which those are out there, then that could do some harm to your egg. So make sure you get a real certified Nephrite Jade egg. And if you buy from my website, you don't have to worry about that because you're going to get the real deal. So that's it for now. I know this video went a lot longer than I anticipated. I just really wanted to put those things out there so that you may have a better understanding about what your Jade Egg practice is. And if there are any more questions that you have, feel free to put them below and I will answer them. I will get back to you. But this is such a beautiful practice. Women have been doing this for hundreds and, as the legend says, thousands of years. And there is nothing on record about anyone having any trouble, any physical harm done to them by using a yoni egg. So again, do your research. Don't listen to the hype. Listen to your heart. Follow your heart. And if you are drawn to this practice, perhaps there is something there for you. Look for a skilled practitioner. If you are in the DMV area, I invite you to attend the retreat that is coming up called Punani Power, in which I and Kaiser Love, aka Reverend Valerie Love, will be hosting a 3-day women's empowerment retreat around healing the womb and empowering our sexuality. So the dates are going to be August 31st through September the 2nd. I will have the link below. I'd love to see you there. In the meantime, stay tuned for more videos. Thank you. Namaste.